Yo, what's up, dude?
Oh, there you are. Um, I'm rushing to put things together, so I didn't fully read your text message. Something about you identify.
I was just replying to what you said last night. The big long text message you sent me.
Uh, yeah.
'Cause, it makes sense, man. I also watched that new YouTube video this morning, dude. Fucking A. I think I think that's gonna resonate with a lot more people than you think it will, dude. Because god damn, man, that brought me to tears.
Uh,
Not to get too deep or anything, but like I think you changed my outlook, man. Seriously, I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. Like, yeah, this is all I'll say, and then we'll move on to trading the session because we open soon. But um, I think I'm wrong in saying that I want this, saying I want to be a trader. I want to be that top 0.1% trader, and I think it's even more wrong to say that I need it because I don't need it. You know, I won't die if I'm not a trader.
hmm
I think it's more valid to say I'm going to be a top trader. I believe
yeah,
that I'm going to be a top trader. I believe in myself, you know, and I have faith in myself. And that video really made me question a lot of things, man. And not that I've ever had any doubts per se, but maybe my motivations aren't right, you know. Maybe my motivations for this are deeper than what I thought they were, you know. And kind of made me do some introspection, you know. And I think I'm going to be doing a lot more introspection from here on out. Um, about life, not just trading, but like why are we here? You know, why do we do the things that we need to do, and what keeps me going each day? Because I do think that in today's society, it's so easy to lie to yourself about why you get up out of bed in the morning and stuff like that. And I don't know, it got me thinking, man. I think that video is gonna really hit with a lot of people.
yeah.
It sure as fuck hit me, man. It hit me like a truck.
Well, I'm gonna change the Cult of Cat channel. I think I can and start preaching on that channel.
I think you should, man, because it really. I was raised Catholic, and I don't have any um, spite about being raised Catholic. I think it was a really good upbringing for me, but again, I think I tricked myself into thinking I don't need faith. Like I'm doing fine without it. That's not how you should be thinking about it. You shouldn't need faith. You shouldn't want faith. You know, it should you need it needs to find you. I should say, you know, and I think it is whether or not you believe in God. There is something there. There is quote unquote God in all of us and in the universe we interact with. How you interpret that is up to each person, you know. And
Yeah.
I want to get closer with that. I want to get closer with what I think is God, you know.
Well, I'll say this, man. I was working on a motorcycle and shit the other day,
Mm,
and there was like it was after I filmed that video, and I had replaced the rear bearings on this motorcycle wheel, and I swear to God, there was this sleeve that had to slide into in the middle of the bearings. And I'm like, I had a sleeve, but it didn't fit. I'm like, okay, I guess not. Maybe I'm high or some shit.
mm,
So I'm like talking to God and shit because I couldn't find a fucking screw. And then I just like my attention, and I was trying to like live through my heart and shit. And then my attention went to the sleeve. I'm like, oh fuck, because that was a big safety concern.
mm.
Um, and I was thanking God and shit, dude. And then it thundered outside like a random thunder. One time, no rain for the rest of the day.
What the
And I was like
fuck?
thanking.
Wow.
The thing is, people don't like. I grew up Catholic, whatever,
Mm,
but as an adult, if you go through scripture, you're like, and you start to live by the law, which it's the same thing as New
Mhm.
Age law of attraction shit. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. You
Yeah.
got to believe with your heart, blah, 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 have faith. But once you read it through scripture, you're like, dude, this is all the same shit.
Yeah.
And then it becomes alive. Like, how can you tell somebody they have a speck in their eye when you have a log in your eye? When you first must remove the log from your eye, then you can tell somebody they have a speck. Basically, telling somebody how they should live their life or what's going on in their fucking life. A speck is nothing compared to a giant log that's embedded in your eye. Basically, you have more bullshit going on. I mean, it's just a good way to live, really, in the way
Yeah.
it talks and the faith part and having your heart wide the fuck open. When bad shit is happening, it happens for a reason. I couldn't find that screw, so I could find the item I needed for my safety.
Yeah.
And then I found the fucking screw that I needed after. So, it's about living with the heart open, whether you're into this or something else.
Yeah.
If you can open the heart, faith, hope, and love, if you can have all three of those, love is more important than all the other two, but if you can have all three, you can achieve great things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been living it real hardcore for the last. I've been into it for a long time, but like, I want to get rebaptized because I go to church and shit, and
Yeah.
I've been going to church because I like to sing the worship music because it gets me amped up.
Mhm.
Right? There's grown ass men crying. I need it.
Yeah.
Feels good to. I want my cup to be overfilled with joy, and I want peace.
Yeah.
And then the Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost will enter you and tell you shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, throw away that blunt you got in the backyard you've been smoking on. So I throw it away.
Yeah.
Or hey, this is what you need to do on your trading system.
Yeah. That too, man. Seriously, it speaks to you in different ways, man. Um, I think.
And I don't, yeah, and everything's distractions.
Mhm.
See, negative thoughts you can associate with Satan, and positive, good thoughts you can associate with God. I'll stop and we can trade, but like, you can look at it however you want, right? But I think this is the old school meta. I think it's easier to believe in some fucking dude that wore sandals and built fucking birdhouses
Yeah.
out of Wooders, whatever the fuck he was doing. I think it's easier to believe in that than a fucking Jupiter and a fucking Milky Way floating around talking to me
Yeah.
like a psychedelic trip. But negative thoughts, as they enter the head, could be seen as Satan.
Mhm.
That's what it is. It puts thoughts in your head. You start tilting in the session,
Yeah.
right? But having belief and faith as you're being attacked mentally, because man, I mean, I was tilting a lot the prior weeks, and then I'm like, fuck, I need to lean in a faith harder. And
Mhm.
when I did last week, my trading was substantially better.
And I think
So,
that's something that's always puzzled me about you, and we've talked about this before, is like, no matter what system we're using, no matter what indicators we're using, no matter what market outlook we have, like, you always perform. And I'm like, "Oh, the guy's just like a wizard. He's really good at trading." I think it's faith. I think you've always had that faith in yourself to do it,
yep.
you know? I think that's why you can always pull out of a sharp drawdown, why you can always perform in a market where other people are failing, you know? I think
And that's the
that's the
thing,
key.
dude. And well, you're right. And that's edge.
Mhm.
And how can I make that better? And personally, for me, it's through Christ. I didn't talk about it a lot, but no more. Honestly, if people, that's what I said in that video. Well, if you want to know what I'm doing, here's the fucking secret.
Yeah.
There's this guy who did a lot of Star Citizen content. He was a really good PvP, like battling ships. His
Mhm.
name is Avenger One. The dude went straight Jesus. He was complaining about the updates on the game, and then his like story was good because it was raw.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what it is, man. It's just a better meta. I think it's just the best meta. And then the scripture, because I listen to it, the Bible audiobook, it's free and shit. I like to listen to it. And more importantly, the gospel of Christ. The other stuff is interesting. You can find some good stuff, but some of them, it's like, oof, some of the stories are like rough. But
Yeah.
like, man, that shit, like the words. I used to listen to the Tao Te Ching, and if you listen to the Tao Te Ching, it's like these phrases, and they're like, you're like, oh yeah, and you can just apply it to your life. This too, but man, it's fucking powerful, dude. And all I'm gonna say is like, because I've experienced way more insane paranormal shit through this pathway, and all I'm gonna say is like, I don't know what it is, but when people are broken and shit, that's usually when they come to Christ, and that's
Yeah.
when big miracles can usually happen. And it's like what God would accept and take a fucking broken person who didn't give a fuck about him.
Yeah.
So, you know, who knows? Maybe we live in the Matrix. This is a video game, and maybe the fucking guy that coded us up is God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, man. It's open to interpretation, and that's what I've always loved about the Bible. It's like it's not supposed to be taken for face value. Like it's in the eye of the beholder.
It's yes. I mean, that's why I want to go to one of those churches where they fucking preach and hold rattlesnakes and drink poison and shit.
Hmm.
Because in Mark, they talk about how you can drink poison and touch serpents when you have faith. And they do these backwood West Virginians, and there's snake churches, dude. But man, that their fucking spirit and how amped they are when they're fucking standing there holding a fucking rattlesnake.
Yeah, dude, I would be
Sometimes
amped
they get
too.
taken out, bro. Sometimes they get taken out, and that's part of it because like when I'm doing tricks on my roller skates, the moment a slight amount of fucking doubt creeps in, I fucking crash.
Yeah.
So, anyways, um, my stocks are on a daily up here.
Yeah, I saw you playing around with that last week, and I'm intrigued. You're not sharing your screen right now. There you go.
This is daily up here on the right. So it's actually more than that. It's 24/2. So 24 hours set to 2 hours. But obviously when you load it, it's gonna
Yeah.
then the next one is just a 30-second down here. Just to match the time frame we're on.
Hmm.
These bars are starting to print, I think, appropriately. For the spoofing and shit. So dark is going to be reloading. Natural color is natural volume, and then light pink or green is going to be spoofing. So it's only a 3-color system, which I think is better.
Yeah.
So since stocks are mostly green on the daily, we'll see how it handles this open where it jumped, because like I think if there could be a big expanded range, but since this is mostly green, I would be long biased. Now there was a few massive spikes on the open, one for 942 contracts long. That's
Mhm.
huge, but we are pushing behind him a little bit, so he might puke. So these arrows, like you've seen it before, you've seen delta spikes. These arrows are just kind of marking those out, and you can tell when they're going to get puked at times. Now, this guy may hold, and it could continue to go back behind and then rise. We'll see. The delta is actually flat, so the delta's been in a range as the price is going lower. So it seems like they had been driving in on a lot of spoofing. They're spiking down currently, which is just a sign that they're trying to drive the flow low. There's a range here on the delta.
Yeah, I
There's a
see it.
reload down there. They're spoofing it upward. So they spoofed it and then they ran. Now natural volume is catching up. That actually might jump up higher. There it is. That's 1,000. That guy came out. That large initial
Yeah.
spike just failed.
I saw it.
But also there's a huge reload though. We'll see what happens. The natural flow is coming out a little bit. They're spoofing it down. There's reloading. There's definitely a large buyer campaigning here. Selling is still natural, although they are spoofing into these sellers. I think they're going to try to, which is interesting, that they're spoofing upward into natural selling.
Yeah. It is kind of
I
like
think they're trying
something's
to force a
cooking.
stop run. Huh?
It's like something's cooking in this area, you know?
So when you see reloading followed by a lot of spoofing, like these two dark greens with these light, that typically is like a pretty long, undeniable sign.
Mhm.
The thing is, they need the natural buying volume to come in, so the delta needs to start actually buying because they can only spoof it around so much,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get it to do that. Natural selling re-kicked in, so natural selling is willing to defend this highs around a 1.
Yeah. That's what I
Somebody
noticed on
reloaded
the
again.
open interest too. That one area was heavily defended.
Now the thing is, it is spiking and the flow is coming out the low end. So I would be a bit short biased, but I don't like the stocks being mostly green. So we'll see what happens here. They're reloading. Turn into a spoof. So right at these ones is when natural selling is willing to come in. It really seems like they're gonna try to jam them upward. There's a 500 lot sitting at 2. There is a lot of imbalance that he could get filled. They're trying to get flow to come out the bottom end, spoofing back upward. Natural selling still. Trying to get the flow to come out the bottom side. Big ass reload right there. Somebody's campaigning a fuckload of longs in here. Spoof. A little bit of a sell side reload right above us.
Yeah, this is a tight range too.
Natural buying is starting to kick in a little bit. There's just a fuckload of reloading. Huge spoof up. Then they just forced the fucking buying to come in naturally with a spike. Oh, they tickled that guy on 2 with the 2 lot.
Yeah, they touched him, but he's still sitting there.
Yeah, I have a long at 99.50. I'm gonna bail it for a tick because like they could get him here. I'm not gonna re-engage it. So all that natural selling is starting to come out. We'll see. They're starting to run natural selling. A lot of reloading. This guy's reloading all over the place in the range. He's occasionally selling though. A respike. Man, they just keep. See, I don't know if this range is going to expand more low. The thing is, they spiked it twice high, nothing, and then they spiked it low with piss poor follow through. Just the same inventory being recycled. Well, there is a lot of natural selling. It's the same inventory just getting jerked around. See, when they spike it and they can't get it to respawn, they'll respike it the other way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like a failed move.
There's a hot glow on the 30-second. It seems as though the flow is willing to come out the bottom end. It means the delta and the price are moving in unison. That's what natural buying and selling is. They're trying to get the flow to go up. There is a little bit of a sell reload right here. Picked up a tick, was long 93. It kind of went and then jumped back on top of me, and then I bailed it.
Yeah, I agree with that 93 long. They defended 92.50 with a slip range, so that would have been a slip favor long into like a kind of B flush action with reclaim above.
Should have held it. Should have held it. They're hot selling on the 32nd, which is typically a sign that it could push up, even though they are doing lower lows. The overall stocks are majority greens, so unless they embed and stay below this green section, and there's a bunch of selling coming in, so somebody's reloading, they're selling in the 95, 96 section. So I don't know if maybe the guy that campaigned in 98 is reversing.
That was a nice second defensive 93s there.
A little bit of a hot glow on the 32nd, which would send it down. The larger spikes are still low. I would say natural flow seems to be more short. No, it's mixed actually.
Got a nice little slip favor long there off of 95.50 out at 98.
So the natural selling is really strong up here. Somebody's reloading a short. So we're approaching the 2 bars that had the bigger sell spikes. They could jam it back down here. It just seems to have all the ingredients. I don't want to take it though. I'm not like 100%. And then it's rising up on these like little buy spikes. So I'd be wrong. Somebody's campaigning a lot of selling in here now.
Yeah, we're coming up on that one area, and that was heavily defended to the sell side earlier in the session. But they might have generated enough liquidity on that down move to finally take him out. It's too early to tell, though.
Now, there has definitely been way more campaign buying. It would take them a moment to start to campaign the other way. You have hot glow on the 32nd, but it's been pushing higher through it. there's that natural selling. They're spoofing it low, which did not bait out more natural selling, interestingly enough, and now they're reloading on the sell side. There's plenty of natural buying coming in too, though. It's the same flow, just getting kicked around.
Yeah, it was a bit of a butt clencher, but I had a 97.75 long right there on the defensive 97s. Just for a nice slip favor long there. But I agree, we're kind of in a coin flip area right now.
600s too. All these micro spikes. And the micro spikes are getting progressively more aggressive. See how there's a fuckload of arrows? That's telling me that for every sell that came in, the buy spikes were more powerful. So I don't know how much more this is going to go up because somebody'd been selling a lot. And I think there's a good chance we go back to the low. But then again, the daily stock is green.
Mm.
And that is not to be fucked with.
500 lot buyer just came in. So there was a 500 lot seller at 600. He was in profit for a very long time. And now it looks like he just
I don't
came
think
out.
that guy ever got filled.
On the open interest, there was a 500 lot seller at 600.
Well, there was a resting order of a guy, and I didn't. Oh, he did
Yeah.
get filled at 275 just now. I saw him on the Dom. That's a big ass spike, but that spike is not. So somebody had campaigned a lot of selling here earlier. We'll see if they do it again. There's so much resting liquidity up in the tens. The buying is, the stocks are a higher high, but we could still be in a range, you know. You got to be careful with that because is it a daily range? But it's just showing signs of ripping out. What's interesting is this up, the buying and the delta are agreeing. There's no real heavy reloading. So the weight agreed. The problem is all the passive sellers up here are, you know, how much is it going to keep fucking hitting the ceiling and shit? And can the weight of the flow maintain because it's hitting resistance, which is where on 712 we took a pocket back. There's still a big ass pocket above us. We'll see if they can crack it. If they can crack that and get the flow to hit the old pocket from the 12th, which was the overnight section.
Big old poop.
So we had a massive pocket of buying in the 600s. We'll see if they come back in. It's just the inventory is just recycling. It's not new inventory. They hit that resistance and then it just fell on its fucking dick. They try to spike the flow low, which is interesting because the flow is not coming out on the bottom side.
Yeah.
At all. And they're spoofing it up to try to bait the flow upward now, which you could just probably tell by how big that move is. But the flow is not responding. So now they're going to cook it. Oh, a little bit of natural volume came in. They might actually flush this low again. It's a slip range.
Yeah. I've noticed the same thing.
There's some heavy buy reloading though. I got that for a point. Short. Just not up many ticks right now. Where are you?
I'm above break even right now. I'm up about 125.
And just take your time.
Yeah, patience is the name of the game today, man.
Love his patience. It's in scripture.
Yeah. That's fucking true, man. That's fucking true.
Good on the slip range. That one was a little sketchy. I'm getting in the decent areas where at least the last two trades where I could have pushed them a bit. It just, I'm just a bit skittish.
I like the slip range that's down here. I like that they defended 98.75 on 123 lot. I think there could be a short-term long for the slip range.
I think I would wait though. I think they're still campaigning. There's a lot of spoofing low. There's a lot of spoofing low. They're trying to get the flow to come out the bottom end, and it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you might be right about this one. Yeah, I tried it on 2-lot micro. Took a tiny loss on it, $20.
Just wait. They're spiking it too. Not only are they're really trying to get that flow to come out, but this is going to reverse. This is going to reverse. Most likely, they're spoofed it down way too much. There's a reload right here. Oh, they fucking spoof it again. Yeah,
they're trying to cook the bottom of it. This is the bottom of this tiny little slip range here.
huge spike up buying.
Yep. It looks fairly natural.
I picked up a tick. I was long 96.75. Now it can go without me.
Yeah, I've got a 96.25. I'm going to take it off here at 98.50 on micros.
You do scalping right when you feel yes, I push the button. What signs are you looking for? a lot. Clarity is the most important thing. That's all I can tell you is clarity. Some days certain patterns work, some days certain patterns don't work. Sometimes certain patterns, you want to look for as many factors of support that seem to continue to work. So you're investigating it like a crime scene. It's not, I mean, that's what it is mostly investigation and then gaining some form of clarity. And then I take mental trades, or when I take trades, I keep leaving money on the table. So that's telling me I'm right. I'm skittish. But also the trades are collapsing too. It's not like as cut and dry as you think. This has been spoofed down way too much, man. They can keep doing that, but all I'm going to say is if this starts approaching the bottom of the range, there's some liquidity down there. We'll see if they can. We're on 95s.
Mm-hmm.
But they have spoofed this down so fucking dramatically. And there's a little bit of selling campaigning coming in this area, which is interesting because this entire up move, the original up move at 851 had a lot of sell campaigning. But they have rolled it down too much on bullshit. There's a hot glow on the 30-second, but there has been. That's the problem. Some fucking dickhead is just reloading a lot of these up shoves. And then they spoof it low again. But the natural flow is up, which is interesting. I'm just not seeing enough buy reloading coming in. I'm not seeing either. It's mostly selling that has been campaigned in here, but they spoofed it so much down that I feel like if the flow is kicking upward and they're just reloading it.
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to recover a lot of the up move? I don't know.
We're starting to get a change in character on the medium time frame. Where
The daily is still green as fuck, though.
Yeah,
It
that's
could
what I
just be a
mean.
big ass range.
I think the range is going to start curving upwards now.
I'd wait though, because there's somebody who's campaigning a shitload, and I wonder if they're gonna make it pop out the bottom of the range. They work their way back into that spoof, all that bullshit, and they're spiking it to get the flow to come up. And the flow is about to go into this old inventory pocket, which is really important to see if the flow will maintain that pocket. But the problem is there's such a big seller around here. Who's campaigning and has been campaigning here. So my thinking is they can get that flow to go up all they want, but if these guys keep reloading like this,
I had a long on micros from 95. Take it off here for the reversal.
why'd you do that one? That's a good
hold.
trade.
I really like that we were, like you said, we kept spoofing low, spoofing low, spoofing low, spoofing low. We put in a hot red. It wasn't quite white hot, so this might not be an A+ setup for me, honestly. But it was hot red on the high time frame towards the low. Keep in mind I'm still using the 15-minute. I haven't switched to the daily yet, so our read is going to be slightly different. We also had that huge sharp imbalance above us on the delta. Um, we made a higher low on the 30-second, and it was grinding high. It kept making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Even the slip ranges were putting in higher lows. Um,
Yeah, they were delta spiking it a
but
lot too.
I took it off at twos because that was where that 500 lot buyer kept fucking around there, and I think he's trapped. I think that 500 lot buyer is trapped. So I don't want to hold past him. You know what I'm saying? Because they might just be
It-
playing with him. They might just come up to, and that's exactly what they did. They came up, they touched him, and now they're trading back lower again. So that was my ideal target, and I got the ideal target.
We'll see if this flow wants to keep going up. It's going flat. They're spiking it to see if the flow will naturally go. And it is. I think natural flow is up. The problem is it's going to get dampened.
Mm.
It's either going to get dampened or they're going to stagger a bunch of smaller 50 lot offers like this. And they rip through it. Dude, your charts look like they're on papyrus, man. That fucking background. Okay, since flow wants to go up and there's a big seller that keeps getting in the way, they're going to have to start spoofing it low and potentially recycling old inventory, or they can power push it. But I don't know how long that's going to maintain.
I really like that slip range that they just had right there, and the
I would
defensive
not be
twos.
short biased.
No, I took a long slip favor long from 225 to 4 even. Slip or nothing.
Just a spoof low. Then they re-spoofed it high. Spoof low. There's a natural cluster of buying when they do that. That just kicked in at the bottom of that range in the twos.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same area where the natural selling earlier kept kicking in.
Yeah. I'm not going to attack it again, but I got another slip favor long, 225 out at 4. I think it's changed though, in my opinion. I think that was a failure when they tested that 425, 450. I think they're struggling now. So I'm not going to attempt it again.
Good thing you didn't touch that.
Fuck. Yeah,
I
no
told you
kidding.
somebody was campaigning shorts in there.
Oh my god, that was such a massive move down. Sheesh.
Was that news?
That almost had to be.
There was a huge buy reload. I would be concerned about her. That was a huge reload down there, dude. And somebody had well-placed bids.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about going short. I wish I did, because that would have been a nice. That green range busted though, which is a bit of a problem. The natural flow is long. I think that guy had to do that because the flow is going against him. So they campaigned big ass reload with a spoof too. Oh man, they got the flow to fucking just rip dick the other fucking way. Huge sell side.
Yeah, there was a 788 seller that came in at 84.75.
We'll see how they campaign this. It almost looks like they're trying to get the flow to go the other way. It's an upward. They're trying to force it up. I'm not saying there's a little bit of reloading as it's being forced up. I was long in there near the 89s. It went 16 ticks in my favor, pulled back, only pulled 7 off of it. I think I'm skittish as fuck. I think I keep going. Oh, Trump said something. Cool. I saw him building his position.
I saw him building his position. Fuck. That's funny.
I'm just concerned that we are below the daily green.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But we know the natural flow is long, and it might want to start going natural long, and it is going natural long. So there's been 5 consecutive green delta bars. It's that, so that natural flow direction is when that delta is just cutting in the same direction, the same color. It's not the big spikes. If you see the delta just kind of like, most of the bars are a specific color and they're just like little bits at a time coming in. See, the thing is, they have spoofed this up, and there was a massive reload. So I think they're going to use this imbalance to get through the highs, potentially. But I don't like how the pocket came out the low side.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm long biased too, but I'm trying not to give into
I'm
that
waiting.
urge of mine
Yeah.
to buy every sharp spike, you know?
They are spoofing it low at this point, though. Daily stocks is like neutral. They're trying to force the flow up. With a spoof too. Okay. There's definitely natural selling coming off of it. What I don't like is there is a little campaign of selling in these 88s.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just a bigger reload down there on the fucking 72s or whatever the fuck. They're spoofing it the fuck up. Spike low. The flow is stuck.
We got an 85 long on micros. I'm going to take a partial here.
Damn, dude. How the fuck are you doing this?
Trapped seller. There was 1,000 lot seller that was trapped at 85. There was a nice slip range above him too. So the bottom of the slip range kept testing him and it wasn't bailing him out. He was still trapped. So I took the long at the bottom of the slip range, but above his entry. And he's still trapped, you know. There's evens. I'm going to take the rest of the trade off there. And I'm going to call it. I'm up over 500 on the day.
Nice.
Which is an excellent session for me.
Yeah, I'm still skittish. I ain't really getting anything decent.
I also had some nice, and I should have vocalized this better. I had some nice continuation longs too. With the slip range, again, we just kept defending those high node buyers back there with nice slip ranges, and that's kind of all I need for a setup is a trend, which we were after we put in that sharp spike, we were putting in higher lows and higher highs. If a slip range comes in and there's buyers defending the bottom of the slip range, it's an easy long for me, and I just take the conservative slip favor long. I don't always go for the slip favor high. I usually go for slightly above mid just to increase my win rate a little bit. And I caught a couple of those back there, which also bankrolled my P&L while I was in that long on the micros. So like even though I had a position on and I was holding along, I was still able to scalp on my other Dom without interfering with that P&L. You know what I'm saying? Because there's two different setups going on. There's a hold. I'm in a hold, and the hold is working, but there's also scalp setting up, so I can take both.
This is a giant flick setup. There's just been a lot of selling as this has been going up, though. That's the... It's like the guy that reloaded down there is coming out. Hot glow on the 30-second green. Oh, hot glow red stocks. 30-second spoof up. I just don't like that there was a lot of reloading here. Flow's dying a bit. I think they're gonna spike it low because that flow's coming out the bottom end unless they just reload it. That flow wants to go out the bottom end. They're doing everything in their power with this specific range right here to try to get it to fucking boost, reboost, reignite. Spike up. Big ass reload.